priority.
Yeah, coming into Game 2, though, I really worried that these teams' play styles are just so disadvantageous for VVV. Like, it really does seem like they're the type of team that loves to work off the other team's mistakes, lane, and then be like, all right, when are we strong? We're strong now. We can start playing, guys.
LMQ's not going to give them that.
And LMQ is just the polar opposite to that. It is a mismatch. I mean, I think that if you have a team that like isn't all out early aggression, so okay, I'll say there's 3 types of teams.
Okay.
There's a team like LMQ that is full out early aggression. Then there's the team like the old COG EU, or what VVV plays like, which is the team that likes to lane, wait a really long time, and like that. The fast team always beats that team. If there's a middle team, that's actually kind of good against the all-out early aggression team because they're better at holding off that array, but it's actually kind of worse against a team like VVV. So like VVV can make it to this point because not every team plays like LMQ. They're more like average and middle of the road in aggression, and LMQ gets away with it. But against LMQ, it does not seem like it works.
So LMQ bans away the Elise, and right away, the pretty much insta-lock for the Kazakhs here. So get snuggled, still happy to play that champion. Did have a decent early game with it. The Ryze, Redect, and Yasuo, pretty much same bans as last time for VVV. So let's see what comes through. The Thresh was really, really big. The Lee Sin could come through for No Name. The Nidalee also was great for Xiao Wei Xiao. See what they go for.
Tons of options. I mean,
LeBlanc, also a big one to open.
As far as this is concerned, if they really wanted to, they could have nearly the same composition as last time.
Yeah.
Right? They could have a different jungler, but they're opting instead to mix it up. Xiao Wei Xiao's last performance on the Blanc was pretty good.
Yeah.
What was it, 906 or something?
Something very strong.
Yeah, lots of kills, no deaths.
Only goes up in KDA.
A moderate amount of assists because he's killing so many people.
Sometimes he just has AoE damage, doesn't get the last hit. Oh, woe is you.
Oh.
I know, so sad. It's always good when you have like an 8-0-0 game. You're like, I didn't drop a kill to any of my teammates. None of them outlast hit me.
Surprised that they wouldn't just take Caitlyn instead of Lee Sin, but it doesn't even punishing them at all because Tails sees no value in Caitlyn again. He didn't have a good time on it.
He wants a more aggressive laner.
Yeah.
But that was put his dual lane together. Like they didn't like, let's grab the dual lane that'll win. It's like, well, I'll grab Lucian, but then we'll just kind of see for a while. Wanted to rush the top lane pick.
Yeah, well, Caitlyn was the pick to take away from Vasily.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a pick for Tails to be on what he really wants to be on. So now he's on what he really wants to be on. He's a Lucian player.
Yes,
and he's saying, all right, if we're going to go out, let's go out guns blazing with Lucian. We'll play Caitlyn.
Great. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to go out guns blazing, better to have 2
pick
than 1.
That would be so cool. Because then we get to see top lane Lee Sin. Yeah.
All right. I like
Much
this.
cooler.
Much, much cooler. Could be top lane Pantheon. Highly doubt it.
Ackerman whipped out top lane Jarvan.
He did.
In game 2 against Team 8.
Yeah. That's PDD's favorite champion. Another great Chinese top laner. Bringing out top lane Jarvan.
Yeah. Back in the day.
Yep.
Of top lane Jarvan.
Dude, top lane Jarvan's super fun.
He is. It's Trinity Force.
Yeah.
I think he built Hydra, right?
Yeah. Hydra's kind of the big one, and you basically just go like
it's the modern
burst
build,
caster.
Some would say.
Yeah. Yeah. It's super fun though. So Pantheon, Ezreal comes through for Vasily. So Caitlyn gonna go through unpicked completely here, and still no support pickup for LMQ. And the funny thing is, I want to bring it up just because in case. So China's known for their crazy support picks. Support TF, support Malphite too that I've seen. It's gonna be Thresh. But like, I was like, you know, I mean, we've actually seen support Lee Sin in competitive.
Crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
LMQ's team comp is all along the same line of gameplay.
Yeah.
They're all about people who will find skirmish fights and kind of pick you off unfairly. If there was ever a situation where they were locked into a 5v5 team fight against this VVV team,
oh yeah,
Shyvana Ziggs, just Lucian, Leona, all that stuff, they'd get wrecked.
Yeah.
But LMQ is never going to want that to happen. Xiao Xiao, Ackerman, even though they're in different lanes, they actually will play fairly similar. Ackerman's going to go a lot of AD, basically turn himself into an assassin. Physical damage assassin. They got 2 of those.
Yeah.
Then they got LeBlanc.
Magic damage assassin.
Yeah. They're pretty much all single target.
It's true.
They all jump really far and fast. And they do not team fight very well.
They all jump in some way.
Yeah.
They all jump to enemies in some way. So LMQ gonna look to keep it going. Super hardcore, diving in, looking for picks, looking for kills. If they can't get kills, they'll get your jungle, they'll get your turrets, they'll make you sad in about 23 minutes flat. Meanwhile, VVV, they're going to look for team fights. They've got, I would say, even better wave than last time.
Yes.
Didn't matter last time, but this time it might.
They need to play lanes better.
Yeah, they do.
This time, they're in a very similar situation where, late game, they will be better. but they have to get past. We need to set like a benchmark. 15 minutes and not be down 3,000 gold. Yeah.
Okay, 15 minutes, 3K. And I think they're set up for it, though. Again, the lanes that lost. Kassadin. Yep, gonna lose lane, got camped. Didn't go, hasn't went in Ziggs. Ziggs pretty much can't lose lane. I mean, sorry. Ziggs can, but like even if you get camped, you're like, I'll throw bombs and hide.
You will farm.
Like, Ziggs will survive his phase kind of regardless, and now it's Lucian, Leona, so they'll have a much better time of actually standing in the laning phase instead of this Alistar versus Thresh, which I was just so surprised the Alistar against Thresh. I feel like you've got no tools there to win that matchup.
That wasn't a good matchup. In game 1, Ziggs can get his farm. That is his goal in this lane. Really good Ziggs, though, do have a lot of kill pressure early.
They do.
Tremendously powerful auto attack. Lots of spammable damage within his initial mana pool.
And as a random aside, just looking at this, Peek and Wolf did go magic resist glyphs. It's always up in the air.
It's not random at all. It's a good observation.
It's an important aside. Xiao Wei Xiao going to have less kill pressure, but that won't protect against No Name's Pantheon.
No. True. No Name's Pantheon. Going to try to make a lot of early plays. Here we go, LMQ. Hooks down. Are you going to wait to keep walking?
Oh, I think he saw No Name. The fact that he backed up means he saw
he just felt like running in the other direction.
At that time, exactly. You know what? The announcer talked. I'm out.
Yeah, they pinged. They knew.
Yep.
They saw him.
Yep. It's fine.
That's
if it were 1 minute trinket timers, they could have put trinkets down.
It could have.
Yeah. You know, if Timo were picked, he'd be in this game. I make really useful statements. Doran's Shield was Doran's Blade here for the top laner, so Ackerman looking a bit more aggressive.
1 minute and 30-second trinkets. Yeah, that was a discussion of our game 1 pregame. How 4.4 patch is going to be different.
Yes.
2-minute trinket recharge timers, which could lead to a lot of blind invades, something we don't see now.
We see it like super rarely. Like once in a while you see them.
I know. We also see lane swaps, basically when teams feel like it.
Yeah.
You know, because there are all those changes. Turrets getting big Doran shields for the first
8 minutes.
For one of it, it used to be like the whole game, and then they changed it back to 8 minutes. But yeah, like it probably delays the 2-man push by 10 or 20 seconds, maybe half a wave of minions, and like you can still just push down the turret. You lose a little bit of time. So if teams want to do the lane swaps, they still can.
Yep.
But we've just seen it less.
Yeah.
And I really feel like that's just either the team's not necessarily realizing it or just learning how to 2v2 again and kind of embracing it. I personally like the game when you do see 2v2s. But at any moment, I feel like teams can go back to lane swapping.
Yeah, and it's interesting because it carries so much weight. I know one of the big unspoken rules about 2v1s is the jungler is tied up somewhere, either defending in a 2v2 or attacking in a 3v1. That was a really good satchel.
That looked real cool.
He didn't get hit by the W because of that. That was really good by Peek and Wolf. But it also ties up the jungler, which means your mid lane is a guaranteed one-on-one without interruption if you lane swap.
Yeah.
Which goes a lot understated, but is actually something that I realized by talking to the pro players.
Yeah, it's actually true. It's like if you have a mid laner that you want to combo ganks with, you do not want lane swaps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Farming out in that mid lane, but he's gotten pretty harassed. The crystalline flask by Xiao Zhao allowing him to spam a little bit more.
Yeah. Chris getting pushed around as well. You can see he's on the back foot in this lane. No Name. Gonna look for Peek and Wolf. Flash stun. I want to see if Peek and Wolf's reflexes are good enough. Here we go. Flash stun's gonna land. There's a satchel charge. Has to flash. Doesn't use a satchel.
And he does barrier.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
I think he was worried about some type of chain CC. That was a bit of a panic move.
Was he silenced?
It was very tricky.
No, he flashed. It could have been silent.
It could have.
If you could flash, you could have satcheled.
Yeah, he could have.
No Name, though. Keeping it going, though. Second gank now in about 30 seconds. Looking for the top lane. Ackerman underneath the turret. Chris level 3.
This seems... I mean, Pantheon can take a lot of turret shots himself.
There he goes. Jumps in. Good damage. Chris on a half HP. It's going to be the walk back from Pantheon. One more turret shot.
Whoa!
And out of range he goes. Ackerman picks up the kill. Just in melee range. Well played there, LMQ.
And the flash away from the bottom lane, but really a very impressive 2-man gank there. Pantheon able to block many turret shots. If you pull it off right, you can actually block 3 turret shots in a row. 4 if you like get really crazy, but I'm not going to talk about how you do that one. Anyway, it gives you unpredictable turret dives. So you do not think that a level 4 and a level 3 in a normal lane can just straight up dive a level 3 guy with a Doran shield like that, but that's what Pantheon Lee Sin gives you. Very well executed, and it should give Lee Sin a nice nice buffer in that lane.
Yeah, and it was just so well played. Like, I do want to kind of keep talking about how they made that one happen, because Ackerman waited for No Name to start it off. And because No Name's cooldown based, right? He doesn't have great auto attacks. He's going to put down all his spells at once. Goes in, lands his stun, lands his basic combo, and then he's like, I'll hold aggro till he dies,
Yes.
and walks away. And gives a lot of time there with no turret retribution to Ackerman just to duel him the rest of the way down from half. And that's how you do ganks like that. When one guy has enough damage to do the rest, you just play the turret aggro game. Gonti looks for the next road in towards Vasily. Not going to keep moving on this one, but I got to say, the VVV bottom lane doing a lot better now.
Oh yeah, Tails is way better on Lucian.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can tell he's absolutely at home on that champion, but now no flash on Pecking Wolf, no barrier either. They get any type of CC onto him.
Oh, there's a okay.
Take it. Oh.
It's like the opposite of Lee Syndrome. You put the satchel charge down, you better stand on it.
Yeah. I want to jump forward.
Gosh, he would just die. It'd be like the worst idea ever.
I've done that before, unfortunately.
Just chosen to die by using satchel charge.
Well, not quite. It's like Ezreal last hitting a turret. I'm like, I have so many spells that can help me last hit a turret. My Q and my E. And I like shift to get a last hit with my E, like not thinking about my positioning.
Get hooked.
And just die.
Yep. I know how that goes.
That's the old me. I would never do that nowadays.
No.
Better than that.
Yeah, absolutely. Who plays AD carries anyway? Who plays Ezreal? It's silly, but you know, whatever. You guys gonna be happy? You know, I've actually seen a lot of Ziggs as well. Like, will throw a satchel charge and then run to it instead of putting it at their feet.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that, and it's like just throw it there like a Caitlyn net.
Yeah. It's a tricky thing to get the hang of because you're so used to throwing all your spells in front of you. To throw a spell like right at your feet, tricky to do. It gets a lot of harass damage down.
So this matchup still holding pretty well. Peekaboo did already recall for a second Doran's ring. Looks like Xiao Xiao still waiting around in his matchup. 900 gold lead for LMQ, 600 for first blood, but another 300 just from the minion game so far. Top lane, massive lead, 49 to 27. Big lead for Ackerman. This is not great for Chris or VVV.
Trying to get to that Tiamat as quickly as possible so he can shove faster and then maybe even start roaming. Ooh, just the right timing, but he still might fall.
All right, dodges the chain. Bomb comes out. One more attack. Oh, the barrier!
Oh!
And he does get away from it. I can't believe Pick and Wolf lived.
Barrier had just came back up. Neither can I.
Yeah.
That seemed like a clean kill. Not even an Ignite Burn by Xiao Xiao.
Yeah.
He was never quite in range for it. He was trying to land too many skill shots.
Ooh, nice from the Vasily, though. Good damage. Half HP Ezreal. The shield explosion as well, landing even more. Good opening right here, but the blue buff being invaded, LMQ so in control of the top lane. Guess Snuggle does not land the smite in time.
Yeah, for a second I thought he got it. I was like, Lee Sin didn't get it. Oh, but he's a top laner. Okay. Oh, more gets jumped on.
Okay, damage on a half HP as well. The Flay comes back. The shield explosion again from Gonti. As soon as he gets level 6, though, I expect, like, even more aggression.
Yeah, this bottom lane is about to explode. Unless they decide to both go back to base, because they're very fearful for their lives. No one in that bottom lane is shopped either. They're just sitting on their Dorans. Both AD carries got some interesting build choices to make. They might just both go BF or a little bit more defensive.
Yeah, both can be Trinity Force or Bloodthirster starts. I know both tend to start BT, but we'll see what their second item ends up being there. I've seen, like, full standard AD carry Lucian where they go, like, Eye Edge Phantom Dancer and all that.
Yeah.
We'll see. I think it's actually the way that Tails been building it as well, if I recall correctly.
An old throwback to the Infinity Edge first.
Yeah. They still don't rush it, but they don't go Triforce at all.
And they haven't shopped yet.
There's a jump on in. Gonti not in a good spot. The stun goes in onto Tails, though. The flash was going to keep him safe. And Gonti doesn't have to burn anything but the flash. He's going to be all right.
So they burn 2 flashes.
Yeah.
Which will be very critical when No Name gets his Pantheon ultimate back. Skyfall is on a pretty long cooldown, but he cast it with his blue buff as well, so it will be up faster than typically. That's going to really help out their bottom lane combo now that both guys decide to go back and shop.
Well, it's going to be BF Sword, Long Sword, and Tier 2 GP10. So Gonti, I believe, did start Doran's Shield, but now has Targon's Brace.
If Vasily wanted, since he stayed in lane a little bit longer, he's going to be able to get BF Sword Vamp Scepter.
Yeah.
Which is huge. That amount of extra sustain could really put him over the top in that lane.
He's good at dodging these skill shots, though. And like a lot of jumps back and forth by LeBlanc. Making it look interesting, but it's going to be just safety now in the mid lane. 78 to 78 minions. Small lead to Xiao Xiao. Chris, he's dodges on the Qs, still having a rough time in lane. Minus 30 minions there. The death definitely not helping. Chainvest doing a bit for him. Get Snuggle going to try to sneak this one away.
Good
and
timing.
No one's reacting.
It's really good timing. They knew that LMQ just shoved in the lane so that they weren't going to be sticking around. And that's a dragon.
Dragon goes down. Peek and Wolf does have flash, and honestly, Xiao is kind of out of cooldowns. Minefield goes down. There's the passive practice well. Peek and Wolf. Oh, he misses the W.
Boom.
Turret shot comes through. Peek and Wolf picks up the kill 1v1.
That's the turn VVV needed. They're sticking in this one. LMQ needs to win their lanes really well because of all the assassins they have on their team. Ackerman, Xiao both have to do well. So far, it's just been Ackerman. Xiao with a couple of misplays. The first one, not securing the kill on a Pecking Wolf, and that one taking a turret shot with the failed execute. Pecking Wolf now might pull ahead in that lane.
See if he can do it there. Chalice and a Fiendish Codex now for both mid laners. See if the wave clear gets any better for these guys. If it turns out ain't too much here. Actually, I do want to point out, Get Snuggled pop his ulti, try to get to mid lane sooner. After the dragon, he was like booking it and using the ult for move speed. And so I saw him use his last charge like while fighting the minion wave and was like, yeah, that was for movement speed earlier on in that fight. But Chris, half HP Ackerman still pushing through. Lee Sin does have some difficulties late game, so more reason for LMQ to keep this going early.
I'm actually surprised by Ackerman's skill order in the top lane. He's maxing his Q on Lee Sin. Most top lane Lee Sins I see, especially that go the Hydra build, will max their E.
Yeah.
Because they want to differentiate their damage a little bit. Now that he's maxed Q and he's went Tiamat, as soon as Chris has that Chain Vest, or even if he goes to a Sunfire Cape later, he's just a little bit short in gold for the Giant Spell right now. It's only one damage type he's blocking from Ackerman. I actually feel like Ackerman's gimping himself a little bit by doing that build order, or skill order.
Yeah, and Ackerman picks up a Ninja Tabby right now, so he's got a ways to go until he gets a Last Whisper. Snuggled, unfortunately, standing on a long-term ward that VVV don't know is there.
Yeah.
He's not even, he's not sinking in the second brush, either, which, of course, I mean, wouldn't matter too much anyway.
He's being
he does
cautious.
back off,
He doesn't want to get spotted by a ward.
Unfortunately, now No Name has the ulti. He goes in for the drop.
They see him in a ward, though. This could be a good counter gank. Cassius is coming.
Here we go. Let's see what happens. It's going to be the jump in on the Tails. Lands a lot of burst. Barrier use. He's just barely alive. And here comes the counter gank. Damage comes through. Tails will fall. But is there enough damage to kill off No Name? Very low on health. No, going to be kill. Picked up again there. The stun comes through. Wow. 3 for 0. Now Peek and Wolf versus Xiao Wei. Xiao down here is going to jump over to the left. Puts the minefield down. Not great Peek and Wolf.
Far.
No. The jump in. Barrier used a little bit late actually. Peek and Wolf not blocking much damage. Flashes the wall. Xiao is going to flash as well.
Really delayed flash, though. He wasn't sure which brush Pecking Wolf went into, but he gets him anyway. And that is the turn, I feel like, in this game. That is what LMQ needed.
It's a 4-0 run.
Having No Name ult in from the ward kind of just made VVV die more than that. Get Snuggled wasn't close enough for a true counter gank, and Tails took too much damage by getting hit by the Pantheon stun. So it just allowed LMQ to clean up there. Getting 2-0-1 on Vasily while still 0-1-0 on Tails should completely swing that lane in LMQ's favor.
Well, good stuff now for LMQ. They're looking awesome so far in this game. 5-1. The Dragon was taken away, but look at this. Get Snuggled and Chris. They want to make a move for LMQ as they go for the blue buff.
They have more people.
It's 2 versus 3. Wow, they're checking it. They're going to find it right here. The burst coming through. Not good for Chris. Getting it away. Tries to flash. There comes the engage and goes down. Kill picked up. Man.
That was weird. That was really, really strange.
This ward has been around for a while.
Yeah.
They saw him come down.
The thing is, everything was seen there. Both of these brushes have double wards in them. So I would imagine that VVV knew that there were 3 people coming around the corner?
Yeah. Well, they saw him go towards blue buff. So they knew there was 3 guys going for the invade. They didn't know they got seen hiding in Wolf Camp.
Right.
And so by the time LMQ went to Wolf Camp, they were outside of ward vision. And it was like, oh, it's too late.
Yeah. Good play by LMQ.
Yeah,
honestly. Finding them in the brush was really nice play. I'm just very surprised that VVV stuck around for that.
Yeah. They didn't know they were spotted, and it was a great play. So
Trinity Force completed.
Yeah. Well,
that's early.
2-0-1. Yeah.
It's real
14.
Early.
Generally speaking, first big item at 15 minutes is sort of pretty good job par for the course.
But Trinity Force as your first item.
Yeah,
that's
Trinity Force
an expensive
is
purchase.
an expensive first item. And he got it before 14 minutes, so very big lead here for Vasily and Ezreal. Of course, 2 kills and an assist. Not a bad place for him. Of course, top lane turret also giving him 100 gold for that one. We're going to see him continue to poke quite nicely. Vamp Scepter from Tails does help sustain him. See if that means much more. Uh-oh. Here's the gank mid.
No flash, no barrier.
Satchel does not knock around No Name, though. The Silent Chain comes through. A lot of damage comes through. Kill picked up. No Name's going to survive just barely. 1 turret shot more would have done it. But he gets out 7-1 now in kills. Another great game for LMQ.
Really good performance by No Name as well.
Yeah.
All his Pantheon ultimates have given some reward, and it's a tricky spell to get right, especially when pretty much everyone on the enemy team has a dash of some kind. The fact that he's gotten legitimate results out of every Pantheon ult speaks to the quality of his positioning.
Extremely well done by him. Now gets snuggled waiting around the wings 30 seconds until Dragon respawns. LMQ stiffed him out, pushed him away with this one. Ackerman just constantly looking for more gold. He pushes up his lane, kills the minions.
40 to 85.
Yeah.
Even though Chris can technically stop a lot of his damage with the Sunfire Cape, he doesn't even have a Sunfire Cape.
Nope.
He got crushed so hard in lane thanks to that early gank by No Name and Ackerman. Turret going down now, especially if Ackerman gets a red buff. He's just going to continue to punish Chris.
He's doing an amazing job. Lee Sin now with a red buff is a very scary thing. He was already pretty sticky. Gets snuggled only with a Lizard Elder. Compare that to No Name, who's got also a Brutalizer Boots and a Longsword. On top of that one, hook now onto Gonti. The push coming through, gets snuggled. What can you find there? Burst onto Vasily. A lot of it. Kill picked up there. Gets snuggled. Might have one more ult charge. Not going to do much.
Panther LeBlanc and Lee Sin are all kind of on their way right here. VVV's got to run back. It's going to grant a Dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So roam down by Lee Sin.
Yeah. Just leaving his lane and saying, you know, I'll make some plays for my team. Knows he wants to keep the pressure going and says, okay, well, Dragon's going to be one. Maybe the mid lane as well. Peek and Wolf is going to play a little bit farther back. Back away from that one. And honestly, Ackerman will barely lose any minions to his turret.
Right. It's more about how much Chris was able to get back, I think.
Yeah.
While he was gone, he's given him a little bit of breathing room. But it was, as you said, because he was so pushed up that he was able to make that roam. And it ends up giving them a Dragon out of what could have actually been a Dragon take by VVV since they got that nice clean kill on Vasily.
Absolutely. So, good roam. Ackerman holding on to the global objectives for his team. Bit of local as well. Got some XP and missed half a wave. Basically all he missed, half a minion wave for the Dragon roam, securing it for his team. Definitely something that's worth it, but not one that you usually call in all chat.
Yeah. It's more of that, it was actually worth it.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like telling people that you're standing
Lest
on a
it
ward.
improve your
Ackerman just
gameplay.
one shot gets snuggled, by the way. Just found him in the jungle.
He only had a Lizard Elder. And now No Name's going to try and hop in.
There we go. The Mano's going to come through. Nice play in. It's not going to land on much. Tails is alive, but gets hooked back in. So he's going to go down. Kill picked up by more. No Name flashing out of turret range. Will drop, though. Gonti on the way out. Not going to get himself away from this one. Vasily, one. Ooh, that turret shot was to more. He's saved. Six bomb. 2 for 2 in that fight. Got to point it out.
Yeah, they traded back successfully there. Vasily couldn't see the Ziggs bomb from where he was standing, so he ended up walking right into it. I think that must have been what happened.
You get about a second of warning.
He walked right into it. That was too bad.
Yeah.
Are you sure there wasn't anything with like the brush and Fog of War potentially
Generally,
tipping
they
it off?
always
Yeah,
read.
they always reveal. So either he wasn't
Paying attention?
seeing a screen. Yeah.
Well, let's check out that 1v1 kill from the top lane.
Yeah, absolutely. This was... That's not what we were looking at. This was the kill in the bottom lane again.
There we go. My bad.
He didn't quite have his Pantheon passive up, and Vasily also took turret aggro. But yeah, look at this. It's like, just don't walk into the
He was just fighting
bomb.
minions and walked into it.
He was just attacking. He was like, I'm going to kite these minions.
Just
Don't want
walked
the
into
minions to kill me.
I like how you dropped your pen midpoint.
Yeah, it was surprising.
Just like out of his hands. Whatever.
It was a surprising
We did see the
move.
Cosmic's corpse in that replay, so I wasn't completely wrong.
He had killed him so fast that the replay ceased to be useful.
Yes. Got to see the bottom lane push. There's Shao Wei Shao. Ooh. Will land the root, but not many spells left available. Q's going to land. Ackerman goes in. Nice flash. Just kills him with the kick to the face.
Now, can he escape the dragon? He's got ultimate up. He's not
As
really,
Ignite, turret shot. I don't think he
he's
can get
just
out.
kind of running in between turrets. Oh, there we go.
I don't know if Chris needed a flash there. He did. Actually, the flash did guarantee assist gold. 250 gold to get snuggled.
Actually worth it.
Yeah, that was a very selfless move right there.
Yeah.
Gonti taking the hook to the face, puts the shield still on. Tails now put the trade as well, but honestly an item deficit here for these guys. In the mid lane, the bomb comes through. Gonna put No Name low on health. Chris does not have any more chasing tools. Bottom lane, though, kills come through. Gonti also taking a bunch of pain. The Pantheon does drop in the mid lane, though. Shao Wei Shao now
This is
rooted
just
in place.
crazy what happened right here.
Guys are fighting a lot. Bottom lane turret goes down. The hook back again onto Gonti. He's got nowhere to go. Kill picked up again. More stuff going through. Shao Wei Shao versus Chris in the mid lane. These guys everywhere. They're just fighting.
Keep going.
Ah!
Yeah, but really, all said and done, even though LMQ did suffer 2 deaths from a bit of that crazed aggression that they get into sometimes, they still picked up big rewards bottom lane. Vasily and Moore continue to perform, and they're the ones that are really keeping them in this one, even if No Name got caught a little bit out.
Yeah, but they did still make it work. 7-kill lead, 2 turrets as well for LMQ. They've now stolen away the red buff, so Vasily has even more fun to do when he lands Q on people. Low on mana, but chugs a potion to kind of keep that one in decent shape. And we'll see where they go next. LMQ, for all the blood sort of bath so far this game, only two turrets. They've been getting kills and
good point.
Just kind of trading back and forth with them.
Yeah, I feel like the turrets are going to be coming more... Actually, you know what? A lot of split pushing will be happening pretty soon.
Cancel
the Pantheon ult. Get Snuggle was too far away. But yeah, this is the style LMQ is going to want to get into is not necessarily grouping up. They will be groups appearing in places for LMQ, but not because that was the initial plan. They're not going to travel in a horde of 4. They're going to all do their own thing, do a bunch of crisscrosses and fancy moves, and then just like kill the same person at once.
Oh, Get Snuggled is about to be one of them. It's going to be a 3 versus 1 right here. Pink ward goes down. I like that. LMQ holding on to pink wards to deal with Kha'Zix throughout these fights.
They should all come from different directions.
2 of them kind of did.
Yeah, they had 2 different directions. We're going to go for 3.
3 directions
for the next
time.
fight.
All right.
From the sky, from the side, to right in their face.
Yeah. Apparently they don't like rock music. Not a fan of One Direction. Chris, I don't even know if they're a rock band. I just know the band name.
All right.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, okay. Chris, not in a good spot. Nope, he's fine. Jump in, though. No Name really wants one to happen. Xiao, though, forced away. Ziggs bomb comes through. Watch out. Watch out. Ignite is on. This is not good for No Name. One more attack will do it. Jumps in on the tails. Down he goes. The kill trade for Gonti, rooted in place by Xiao.
How sneaky can he get? Long as a lot of damage.
Wow, that was some good burst.
Yeah. Athene's working on his DFG, and that's pressure around the map right here. While that was happening, they're pushing up the mid lane, and Ackerman is just ignoring Shyvana to kill this turret.
Tries to CC him out of the turret. One more attack to go. Ackerman does pick that one up. Now Chris trading blows back and forth. Ackerman,
win this,
not a lot of sustain. He needs a minion wave to get his health back up. Kick, Q, good spell ban. It's gonna be enough. Yeah.
He has a last whisper.
He maxed safeguard second, so the burst he got from Q and R, both single target spells, healed him back.
The healing damage because he has spell ban
25%. And Vasily not in the best spot. Slowed down, has a lantern. Will he use it? Ulti used by Get Snuggled. He's trying to cut away, but the Blade of the Ruined King pushes them out, and now more shows up. Vasily chases, flashes in, goes for the kill, picks it up. Is on a rampage. Peek and Wolf hooked as well. No longer has Satchel Charge, goes down. More picks up another kill. 2-0-7 on Thresh. LMQ
really snowballed this one.
Yeah, they
like they wanted to. It's because all their individuals are so strong at this point. I mean, Ackerman took Chris from like half health. Like he was at half health, and then Chris went down. Sure, he's ahead, but that's still impressive. Moore is a suicidal craziness.
He's trying. He goes down. Gonti's going to drop though as well. Tails the push in. Q's not going to land, but the dash is for Xiao. Another 2 for 1. And now Ackerman is going to keep doing more. Like he's jungling more than No Name is.
Yeah. He is Lee Sin.
Yeah. Still feels at home, killing Dragon.
He can kill it really fast.
Killed one in the top lane. Killed one down here.
At this point, the damage is Resonating Strike does probably as much as Smite, so he can secure this just fine.
Confused.
Yeah, let's take another look at this one. Figure out exactly what was going down with Lee Sin. He had his Ignite. Obviously, Chris did not, as we see this one.
Yeah. Remember, it's max Q, max W, so it's a really good single target.
Yeah, exactly. You can see the shield right there, and even though his shield's down, he still has the spell vamp up.
Yeah.
And then he does a really nice thing. He kicks him. Well, he didn't even maximize that. He kicked him into a Q and then detonated it.
Yeah.
Could have got a little bit more if he kicked Q.
No, second Q still landed after kick.
Yeah,
just because he kicked first.
You're right. It's just not as fancy.
Not nearly as fancy.
Yeah.
It's still cool. Like it's kind of like the Gragas play, where like you knock him into your own barrel. It's like if you kick him and you lead the Q into their flying body.
Yeah, it looks cooler.
Looks
like you could just detonate the barrel first.
Well, yeah, but lame. It's not an LCS big play. Wow, down goes Tails on the bottom side. Stunned on No Name under the turret, though. Not quite going to be enough. Get Snuggled out in a good spot. Ziggs bomb comes through for a bit. Vasily does go down. A lot of burst comes through, even despite the McHales. Get Snuggled. Random Q by Ackerman. Do it. Do it. Gets it. There you go.
Just had to check.
Style points.
Just had to look there.
100% style points there.
Feel there, I suppose. Hear him with his sonic wave.
Yeah. Sonar.
Yeah.
Deadly.
Uh-huh. This is just LMQ having fun right now. I mean, that's kind of why you pick a composition like this. While it can still be successful, this is one of the more enjoyable compositions you can play for the individual.
Fight things.
Everyone on this team is like, they can go and do their own thing. They can make their own play.
Yes. Like Shakespeare.
Yeah. He made many of his own plays. You know, speaking of rock music.
I was going to go with the speaking of Shakespeare.
From 10 minutes
You go
ago.
first.
Yeah, sure. if you ever watched LPL, they have a lot of rock music in that show.
Yeah, they do.
Like, it's all those knockoffs are just legitimate rock music at the start. You know, they're not going to get that anymore now that they're in the Challenger Series.
You know, I know at one point, I don't know if it's still true, Linkin Park was like the official band of Chinese League of Legends.
I wonder how official that partnership was.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
They're pretty popular over there. So speaking of Shakespeare, though, I learned this one the other week.
Yeah.
Shakespeare only wrote the parts for the individual actors. He didn't like have like a full like manuscript.
Absolutely. It's only thanks to the talented work of some individuals that we still see Shakespeare plays.
Put 'em
VVV trying to get aggro, though.
Jumps over the wall. Chris, angry, and a dragon. Ziggs bomb makes one happen more. Will they get another one? No, they won't. Chris forced to run away from this one. Pantheon to go down, get snuggled. About to get a big hug from Ackerman. Hits the ground, takes him out. 191 gold for that one. Unassisted. 1v1 kill.
LMQ, Ackerman, and Vasily versus the world. Do they want to try and do a 2v4? I think they want to, but
They tried.
Yeah, it was
he ran away.
It was a nice move by VVV to get 2 kills. Like when you're down 14,000 gold, getting any kills is a struggle.
Yes.
The fact that they picked up 2 and only suffered 1 in return makes it a very good play, but they would need to make about 15 more of those if they want to get back in this game.
I would say about 14 more of those.
Yeah, of course.
Just do a subtraction.
Yeah.
Like you said about, so it's pretty accurate.
Because then the kills would be even.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just speaking generally.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of this like big, impossible to achieve number. And it's like
75 kills.
15 more times.
3 aces, they're back in. We'll see if they can do it more. Going to sweep away the wards. I'm always a fan of when someone gets the 2 for 1, like 2 wards and 1 activation. Because he like sweeps one brush and walks the other with the oracles, gets the second one.
Yeah.
Sound effects, what do you use, Irene?
No, I was thinking like, that's the 2 wards. It's like 2 for 1 because you get...
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Oh, man. You might turn this around.
A lot of person to get snuggled, but walks away from it. The ult damage reduction helping get snuggled a lot in that one.
Yeah, they saw a lot of people in the bottom lane too, so they might just rush this Baron right now.
And here we go, the Baron getting started up. No one VVV really around. Ziggs bomb going to be way too early, but does confirm that it's being attacked.
Teamfights are things that LMQ wants to avoid, but this wouldn't be a straight-up teamfight. It would be a 4v3, and that Baron's going down real fast.
Oh, red team does pick up Baron Nash, but in comes Gonti and Chris. The battle begins. Peek and Woof just goes down early. Solar Flare comes out. Gonti's got nowhere to go, though. Tails doing some damage off the bottom side. Ackerman does not care. Jumps to a ward. Can he find the kill here? You got the jump onto Tails. Yep, Shao picks that one up, and in comes No Name now. Chris gets stunned, but jumps over the wall just in time.
He stunned the little wolf.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Either way, Chris is safe.
Just wanted to hit him.
I think even if he stunned Chris would have been safe.
Yeah, Chris still would have jumped over. The stun doesn't interrupt the jump unless it was actually a displacement effect.
Or it was Yasuo.
So, like the threshold can stop. Or if it was Yasuo dash.
Yeah, you can stop Yasuo's. Malzahar ulti now stops dashes mid-travel.
Nice.
That one's cool. That was a couple months ago, actually.
Awesome.
But the push in towards the base is going to be LMQ putting up some pretty big performance here. Turret number 6 will be going down 28 minutes in.
This has been such a dominating performance by LMQ. And a surrender 28 minutes into the game. Chris leaves the game as well.
There you go. 51 minutes of total game time for the BO3. Very convincing by LMQ. Great play by these guys. Early game both times. Same strategy. Really fun. A lot of action, a lot of kills. Made it work.
That was a fun game.
Yeah, it was.
They're really good. So they're now their second straight series final in a row. They're guaranteed #1 seed in points.
Absolutely.
I think they were before the game.
Yes, they were. Even fourth place.
Even more so. They're still going to want to win both of them for the domination and the fear factor as they go into the finals. Yeah, I mean, this was much more impressive than their quarterfinal performance even.
Absolutely.
They took control of all the games right at the start. I think teams that are going for LMQ definitely have to at least find a way of weathering the storm or just picking. You don't want to say like beat them at their own game because that almost never works, but they need to at least not pick late game compositions. Pick incredibly strong laners.
You've got to withstand it.
Like the Kha'Zix jungle, while it's nice, actually isn't that great until he hits level 6. And there was a lot of stuff that they could have used help them in that game for VVV. But they get some points for that.
Yep.
LMQ in the finals.
Yeah.
Good set.
And VVV are going to move into the third place match. We'll see them in about a week, I believe, to see if they can get third place here in this series, get some more points, see what happens. Of course, LMQ is now headed to the Challenger Series finals with their 2-0 sweep over VVV. And they're going to be waiting for the winner of CA versus C9T.
Yeah, of course, the next finals team will be decided tomorrow.